The Gundam Metaverse is live again, and somehow it's worse than last time. So let's jump in and get this over with.
イングリッシュでよろしいでしょうか?
I love it that when you select the language, the game still keeps talking to you in another language. And you might want to keep Google Translate on standby, because this won't be the last time that we see some random Japanese popping up. But first, we have to connect to the server. And here, something really surprised me. It says that the server is full and that I'm in a queue for logging in. Unfortunately, there was only one person in front of me, and I could access the metaverse rather quickly. So off we go with the optional tutorial. And I gotta say, at the very least, I do like this setting. The metaverse is its own colony, and we're on board of a shuttle to that colony. Less good then is that it doesn't actually tell you about all of the controls that you need. In the past, I've complained about the clunky tank controls that the metaverse has, and how hitting left turns you left instead of strafing left, which is how pretty much any other kind of 3D game or virtual world handles this. However, as some people in the comments have pointed out, you can strafe by holding down the right mouse button, which the tutorial forgets to mention. Other not-so-stellar things then are that there are no sound effects, and that only a forgettable BGM is playing, and that there's a grammatical mistake in literally the third dialog box of the tutorial. In the meantime, let's go over with the basic controls. But with the tutorial over, we have now arrived at the metaverse proper. Character creation hasn't changed a bit since last time, so after quickly recreating my character from the first test, we can log into the bustling Gundam metaverse and its full server. Where the fuck is everyone? So it turns out that that login message was a blatant lie and was probably just there to give you the illusion that more people are playing than there actually are. The problem just is that that illusion gets quickly shattered when there is literally nobody. I didn't think the metaverse could get even more dead, but here we are. I mean, here I am, because there's no one else here. So let's do the tasks that are presented to us by operators who either have no voices or are still using those horrible text-to-speech voices.
Scan Gumpla is in the builder's note for those participating in the produced by. It is the one that you received.
This kind of thing is funny when you do it for a bit or as like a joke.
Hello, I am Master Chief. I hope John doesn't mind that I'm a uses 360. WDF Gears sucks. Halo is the best FPS.
But for the love of God, Gundam, hire some voice actors or just don't have them voiced at all. So, what's new? Well, one of the big things that they touted was that the overworld has now been changed to incorporate the RX-78 F00/E Gundam statue that is currently on display at the World Expo in Osaka. So that's neat. And hey, there's a terminal there that I can interact with for a campaign that's only available in Japan. Well, no problem. I can also shop for Gunpla and other things here in Japanese. You know, I'm starting to get the feeling that they don't really want me here. Against my better judgment though, I persevered and continued to explore the rest of what the Gundam Metaverse had to offer me. Most of which will sound very familiar if you've watched my previous videos on the Metaverse. You can collect virtual card-ass cards that still don't serve any purpose. You can go to the Gundam Museum, which, believe it or not, is actually one of the big upgrades from last time, because previously all of the characters were lined up in a straight line, so you had to potentially run quite far to see the character you wanted to see, but now they're actually in a room, so you can immediately go check out your favorite character. Not that that's anything groundbreaking though. You can look at 3D scan dioramas, which is nice, but here we also get another clue that not a lot of people might be fully exploring the metaverse, because you have the option to like the dioramas, and while this one has 999 likes, which is the maximum, the next one only has 652 likes, and this one only has 112. Next up, we arrive at the minigames that you can play, and their quality varies greatly, just like the amount of enjoyment I got from them. My favorite one was definitely the quiz, because in hard mode, it threw some really specific and niche questions at you. Like how many lives were sacrificed on the battlefield for Trace, which I of course totally knew and definitely did not get right because of pure luck. Also, you only have 15 seconds to answer, so you don't have the time to go looking for the correct answer. The only downside is that the operators have to read the questions out loud with their robotic voices, which is really distracting.
What alias did Mine Vazabi go by in Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn? Well done, that's correct.
What's interesting then was the picture matching game. In the middle, there's an image of a Gundam character that gradually zooms out, and you have to guess who the character is and which machine that they use in the series. But instead of being able to just select your answer, you have to platform your way to the correct answer, which is easier said than done because just like the last beta test, the latency for me was absolutely atrocious, despite having 3 full bars, which the game told me is a full quality connection. Connection issues aside, this felt like a beta version of a party game that you could only play as a single player game. Also, they made a pretty big mistake with the question, which is always the same. Which mobile suit does this character pilot? Round 1 was Tianum, who commanded a Magellan-class ship. Round 2 was Slender, who piloted a Zaku 2. Round 3 were the Black Tri-Stars, who piloted Doms. Round 4 was Ryu, who flew the Core Fighter. Round 5 was Garma, who commanded a Gao. Round 6 was Woody, who flew a Fan. And then I'd had enough of this nonsense. So out of the 6 rounds that I played, only 2 of them actually had a mobile suit as the answer. The third and final game then was repurposed from the last test. It's a very basic 3-lane runner, with the only gimmick being that you can use 3D scanned Gunpla. It's neat as a tech demo, but for me it was again ruined by the latency, making some of the obstacles literally impossible to dodge. My favorite game though has now been removed. No matter how much I like shitting on the metaverse, I genuinely enjoyed the shooter that was in the last beta test, and if not for the latency, I probably would have played that game quite a bit. So congratulations, you objectively made the metaverse worse, which is a sentence that I never thought I was going to say. But there is still one thing that we have to check out: the latest Hatsune Miku concert that can only be experienced twice a day. So is this the thing that's going to make my metaverse experience this time around? I don't know. Both concerts for today are over, so yeah.
2 days later.
Okay, so we have some people waiting outside and oh my god, is this where everyone was? This is a huge crowd compared to last time. Wait a second. Something feels wrong here. Why are there only 3 people with names above their heads, and why are there 3 of you and 5 of you? And why is almost everyone just standing around doing the same cheering emote? This isn't a Hatsune Miku Live, this is the Dead Internet Theory Live. It's a program giving a concert for 100 bots and like 4 actual people. And I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. So, how was the concert itself? And my conclusion here is pretty much the same as last time. The G Gundam intro song was still as high-pitched as ever, but other than that, it was fun to listen to while I was getting some audio drivers installed on my Windows XP machine. And we also got some cool visual flair to accompany the songs. What I found funny though is that the main event was supposed to be the intro to Gundam Wing, but my favorite song was Vampire with the Q-Blaze flying around. So at the very least, I ended my Gundam Metaverse experience on a high note. And that's all I've got for you today. It wasn't all bad, but we've still got a long way to go.
What was the former codename of the artificial new type, Merida, in Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn? Well done, that's correct.
As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all next time.